Truly, being a liberal has to be one of the most exhausting things. It's always interesting to me that liberals think they are a majority in this country. And it is insane to me. I mean, look at the last election results. Really, I don't have to say anything else. But the problem is that conservatives are too scared to speak out.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. America and Israel attack Iran. And Iran's answer is to just attack everybody. You know, having been in a bar fight or two in my life, I'm pretty sure the worst thing you can do during a 2-on-1 beatdown is slap everyone else. Hey, not every part of me is getting punched. What are you doing? Hey, you!
Well, Barack Obama sure.
Yes, Democrats are extremely angry with Jon Stewart for simply saying something they don't dislike. If you remember a few days ago, I think last week, what happened in Iran was appreciated by a lot of people, what President Trump did. At some point, Jon Stewart is like agreeing with Trump for doing the right thing. You know, Democrat, they can't even take it. They can't accept it. If you don't know, Jon Stewart is someone who is having a lot of views when it concerns these topics.
Well, Barack Obama sure has been quiet lately. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you, former President Barack Obama has never really been one to slow walk his criticisms of President Trump, yet here we are. 3 whole entire days after President Donald Trump decided to ruin the Ayatollah's day, and Barack Obama is radio silent. I wonder why that is. It couldn't possibly be because before President Barack Obama left office, he decided it'd be a good idea to go ahead and send $1.7 billion worth of cash over to the Islamic Republic of Iran. And wouldn't you know it, somehow, some way, they grew their nuclear program and funded proxy groups. Isn't that crazy? Now, technically, we did owe the country of, not the Islamic Republic of Iran, $400 million for some sort of arms deal that happened before 1979. But because Barack Obama is just so generous, he went ahead and paid that principal amount of $400 million and went ahead and included the interest on that money just for good measure. If only one was able to predict what a terrorist nation would do if they got their hands on $1.6 billion in cash because they had sanctions placed on them, so they couldn't exactly participate in the global financial structure we have going on. So, can't wait to hear what Barack Obama has to say. I certainly hope he keeps his comments on for this one.
Do you realize with these people, they just want you to be on the same positions every single day. Because you are a liberal commentator, everything you need to do is to always talk against Trump, no matter what he's doing. If he's doing the right thing, talk against. If he's doing the wrong, talk against. That has always been their thing. But here, Jon Stewart did not actually really accept that. Some call him all sorts of names because of this. If you look into this interview with Amapo, CNN Amapo, you will realize this is an Iranian woman, right? Jon Stewart doing this is something actually I didn't expect. He's a liberal. He's someone that his views will always be the same. But trying to see common grounds on certain topics is very important. I've seen divisions on this. There are people that used to support Trump every single time, but along the way, they decided to maybe criticize him like this is not what they voted for.
Christian, can you give us just very briefly any kind of sort of real-time update about where this all stands right now as we're entering days 4 and 5? What are you hearing?
Well, for me, the most important signifier of where we are right now is the order given by the United States for all Americans to leave the Middle East, but do it on your own dime, do it on commercial. We can't get you out. For me, that speaks volumes. It speaks to me to a lack of planning, to a lack of having talked about this in any public, forum. Certainly they didn't go to Congress, but there was no speech to the American people. There was no advice to American civilians, businessmen and women, tourists, and all the people who live out in the Middle East and in all those areas that are vulnerable, which host U.S. bases, to leave. And now they're panicking. So I don't know I can't say that they're panicking inside the White House or the Pentagon, but that was a panic message to me. And the whole thing is very different than people expected. There are civilians in many places, not to mention in Iran, more than 500. Plus, some of those were children, about 160 according to the Iranians, at a school. There are allies targeted. There's shifting reasons for this about why they're doing it. Not only that, what they want to achieve. In one 24-hour period, maybe even Rubio, all gave different and I don't know what kind of justifications. And
is that fair or unfair?
I think that's absolutely fair, John. I think that, our military is extraordinary and they plan for plans for plans. There is nothing they do not plan for and do it meticulously. And that's what we're seeing. A meticulous military plan. But the objective, as Christiane pointed out, keeps changing on a minute-by-minute basis. And as a result, there was no real political strategy. There was no overall strategy. There certainly was no regard for people, whether those were our diplomats who now have to leave embassies or American citizens who are told, as Christiane pointed out, leave, but we're not going to help you.
Is that unusual? I don't know. I've not been in war zone, so I don't.
Extremely unusual. If you recall, John, the responsibility of the Department of State is to protect American citizens.
There is one part of this video I had to cut out. If you look it carefully, you realize this lady was not actually happy with Jon Stewart because of what he actually said. He actually said some things which I really find it difficult to put on this video. Looking at this lady is talking, there was no plan. You will clearly see this kind of Democrat talking points coming out here. Yeah, the first priority of U.S. State Department is to protect American citizens. And I believe that is exactly what they're doing. So struggling to divert people's attention to the real facts, saying this is something which to me, I don't really, According to her, she's saying the objectives of this mission is changing every single time, every single day. I don't know. It will be very difficult to say Trump just took up this decision without plans. It's very impossible to say that. I don't want to talk much. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips, that is for the white algorithm. You can always keep.
Yesterday was the most intense day of U.S. military.
Based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no...
Will, do you think MAGA supporters will now admit that they have been lied to? Will they be able to say it?
I don't think MAGA supporters will. I think...
The idea of an expertise denigrated while...
The trap that Trump laid in the State of the Union address. And the Democrats didn't stand. I mean, obviously, it's a deliberate trap because they always played these games of Simon Says there at the State of the Union.
Well, I think you and I agree on this is all
through to get here. Trump, go Trump! Hey Murphy, thanks, man.
Our chamber is chanting USA. This is a sick person. The first lady.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
She wasn't the only one. Look at 35, CNN's Abby Phillip.
But he utilized almost like these game show type moments where you're seeing awards being presented.
They're just so disgusting.
Of course, he chose who did not vote in his favor and did not shake her hand there.
Here's the video. He shook everyone's hand. Everyone. There's the Chief Justice. All of them got their hands shaken to the point where they had to come back on the air and say this in SOT 33.
But we should point out as he walks in, he's pretty close to the justices again as he comes down on the floor, that he did shake their hands there this evening.
Moment. No, that's not what happened at all.
Democrats to stand for the slain passenger in North. Our first priority is Americans rather than illegal on either of those two. I think they took his bait.
Can take away from the joyous moment as all Americans. And why are they putting a medal?
Oh, he's already under scrutiny for 1,000 reasons. Viral Patel posted this on X.
Job. I get suspicious when any
person's home. It's very easy to.
This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
The country's in such emotional turmoil.
And Republicans on both sides. You're
so amazing. And wasn't it so great?
When it can be hard to hope.
Hey, girl.
In a time when it can be hard to hope. Each day we wake up.